Hey everybody, Greg Hamby here, your favorite lender. Welcome back to the Texas Real Estate Roadshow. Believe we're on episode 9, and today we are filming at the Goosehead Insurance Agency here in Houston, Texas, in the Memorial City area around Gessner and I-10. Today I have Bridget Falcone with me, who is my insurance broker here at Goosehead, and she's awesome. She's my friend. I use her personally. I refer her out all the time, and I'm going to let her tell all of you a little bit more about herself.
What an intro. This guy is a professional, isn't he? But yes, thank you, Greg. I'm so thankful that we met, and I'm your personal agent, and so that's the biggest testimony. You know, if you can also have, a friend, a business partner, and also be your personal insurance agent, that means we got something good going.
That's right.
And so, so I work for Goosehead. I'm a broker. Goosehead is actually the largest brokerage in the state of Texas, and so what we do is we shop the market for the best prices. It's a lot of work to go through all of the carriers for clients or for, homeowners, automobile owners. It's a lot of work to go through all of them. And so we kind of take that burden off of them. We're the largest broker, so we have more carriers than any other broker in the state of Texas, and we're also the fastest growing in the nation. And so what I do is I partner with great, real estate professionals, lenders, realtors, title, and I, pitch my services to them, and then in turn, they trust me to take care of their clients with something as important as insurance. It's part of your process. Insurance is a big part of your process, and so just my goal is to make it easier for my referral partners, that all of that is taken care of. Their clients have, plenty of insurance. It's done timely. Closing is not pushed back, and their rates don't go up because closing's pushed back, all that stuff. And but what I do for the clients, so that's kind of what I do for like my referral partners. What I do for my clients, of course, is just be the very best insurance agent, the very best insurance experience that they've ever had. So I pride myself on, my boss always jokes, I care too much. And she's always like, nobody's going to die on your operating table today. I'm like, well, you're right, because I won't allow it. And so I just make sure, from the very get-go, to gather all information about their portfolio, everything that they could need, home, auto, definitely need flood if you're in Houston. Just get it, please, people, just get it. Umbrellas, liability protection, all of that. Make sure that I know everything about them, build a relationship with them, quote them out, find them the very best rates that I can find with the best coverage, of course, and then present all of that to them. And I feel like something that kind of sets Goosehead aside, other than us having so much product availability, is we're really skilled in explaining exactly what insurance is for clients. Most of the time, I don't know. I ask, what are your liability limits on their auto? They're like, I don't know, 500 maybe. And I'm like, that's your deductible.
Yeah.
Everybody knows their deductible, but they never know that liability is the most important part, because that's what's protecting you if you cause an accident,
Yeah.
And
then you get a call from the Texas Hammer, right?
Yeah, seriously. And then you're just screwed because he can't be beat. He's like it's so funny. I mean, I remember watching now I'm getting on a tangent. Like, he's like a Houston celebrity.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody that doesn't know his name, but yeah, exactly. And so we really pride ourselves on just totally informing the client about everything in the policy. So we go line by line, and I'm like, this is what this is, this is what this is. And every single time it's such a, it means that I'm doing something right, because they're like, I didn't even know insurance had all of those things. Thank you so much. You got all those water coverages. I've never had water coverages, things like that.
Yeah.
So, and then, after that, it's a done deal. Their home closes and their auto is taken care of. And then from then on, of course, just maintaining things. We're going to check those renewals every year, make sure that, things went up. We'll reshop the market. You got to think of insurance like the oil, industry. They're all
Right.
competing with each other. So one goes down a little bit, and then, one goes down a little bit more, and then goes up. And then you just got to kind of go with wherever the market is going and just see what carrier is going to be, strongest at that time. There's no more loyalty, unfortunately. It's not, the old days where you had the same insurance agent and they rewarded you for being with them for 50 years,
No,
it sucks.
They continually drive your premium up.
And you don't notice because you're like, well, it's easier to just leave it than have to do all that work. And so I take the burden out of that. I'll do it all for you. I just need to collect some basic information. I'll do it all for you. I'll explain it all for you. I'll do everything but cancel with your previous carrier because I cannot do that.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Otherwise, I would cancel everybody's policy. I don't know what happened, but let me get you.
So
yeah.
I personally have had a great experience with you. You know, I wanted to work with you before I referred you out, and it was awesome, right?
Yay.
So I know you increased the coverage on my home, the liability, like you said, on my cars, I think on my home too.
Got your water coverages.
You
didn't
added
have.
like 2 types of water coverage at least on my home, cut my deductible in half, and saved me like $1,800 or $1,900
I was going to say, well, Greg,
a year.
this all sounds really expensive.
No, it was great. And I hate that I know this because I didn't like why I know this, but I had to file a claim not too long ago. And you guys were awesome. The company that you put me with was awesome.
Good.
The adjuster came out like the same day or the next day.
yes.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, good. I'm so glad.
I got my upfront money right away. The back end, I don't know if I have it yet, but that's my fault.
Yeah. Oh, when the
because-
repairs are made, you're going to get your second
It
check.
took me forever to get my receipt from the contractor I
Okay.
used. And then
Don't forget about that stuff. That check is just waiting for you.
I know.
I'll help
So-
you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I gave all that to my wife, and then the other thing was to have the carpet cleaned, right? Because we had this major flood from a water heater come pouring through our ceiling in our game room.
When he called me, when
It
you called me, I
was
was
crazy.
just, my heart dropped. And you were so calm, and I was like, it's going to be okay. Because most of my clients that call, they're like, everything is going wrong. And then I'm like, okay, you've got to be the grown up in this situation because I'm a Gemini and I have very strong emotions. And so, you know, when people call me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I am so sorry. No, you've got to be like, hey, that's why you have insurance. It's
Yeah.
okay. You're going to be taken care of. So I'm glad that claims experience went well. So you didn't just save money. You're also getting, you know,
Yeah.
a great service as well, which you want both.
Yeah. The Goosehead team asked me questions and prepped me ahead of time to see if it was worth the claim, figured out it was, and helped me take care of all of it.
Yeah.
In fact, and I don't know, they may have contacted, I think it's Allied.
Allied, yeah.
right,
They called
for
Allied
me.
and filed the claim
Yeah,
for you.
and then I started getting calls from the lady at their desk, and it was just smooth and easy.
Good. I'm so glad. Yeah.
And then you guys followed up throughout the process, you personally, as well as the claims
Yeah, I had it on my
team.
I had it on my I have like a notepad with all my to-dos, and it's every day I would write check in with Greg.
Yeah, thank
Check
you.
in again with Greg just to make sure things are going going smoothly. We have a full service team. That's another cool thing about Goosehead that nobody really else has.
Yeah.
And so what they are is a fully licensed team of agents that are there just to assist our clients with claims. So they're specialized and they know exactly what it is. And what I tell my clients, their main job is to make sure that you don't get screwed over by the carrier. At the end of the day, you are nothing but a paycheck for the carrier.
Sure.
For us, you're an actual person. You're an actual client. You can't keep retention if we are not well taken care of. And so that's, I'm glad that they were able to take good care of you and you're giving a personal testimony and
It's a
everything
big
like that.
deal. Yeah,
Because, insurance, it sucks. It's horrible. It sucks that we have to have something that we never want to use. So it's hard to sell something like that. It's not glamorous or, and so, but at the end of the day, I have people's most important assets in my hands.
Sure.
It's a big responsibility.
Yeah.
I'm doing okay. Everybody's been good. Just pray for an easy hurricane season. That's all. Everybody send a silent prayer. Just no hurricanes. None.
None. I'm for that. I was personally unaffected by Harvey, thankfully. I'm out towards Fulshire, and it's higher elevation, and everything drained away quick. Like, my streets didn't even fill up, right?
That's good. You'll
Like,
have
it
good
was just
drainage.
draining
There's
away,
good drainage
so,
out there, but Kingwood?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, a lot of places,
Yeah,
sadly.
it is.
Yeah. But, everybody I've sent you to or asked you to call, some people, like my best friend from growing up, right, up in the Dallas area, I gave him your
Hamilton?
information. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing happened, right?
Yeah.
And then I gave you his information, and he calls me, hey, your insurance lady just called me. And I thought he was going to complain, right?
Yeah.
Like, why are you doing
Soliciting.
this? And he's like, man, I just got better coverage. I saved like $2,500. She's like, I'm so excited.
He was awesome. They were so great. I know.
And then didn't you get his sister? I sent
Yeah,
you his
yeah.
way up in Amarillo, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Monica.
Monica is his. That's his sister.
That's his sister.
I knew that because I was like linking her to you the whole time, but then I forgot Chris is also my client. I love them. Monica and I were like, we became like two peas in a pod. We talked for like hours about nothing, like not insurance at all. Her son, she was like, are you dating anybody? And I was like, I am. And she was like, okay, well, my son's pretty cute. You know, she sent me a picture. I was like, he is pretty cute. But yeah, I loved them. And so just things like that make this like more than just a job, more than just a paycheck.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when people are so happy, you know, especially with how expensive things are right now.
Sure.
Like I had clients that were, you know, their insurance was canceling right now and they were looking around and everything was like $2,000 more than what they were used to paying. With everything else, all the other expenses, I was able to find them something just, you know, lower than I think what they previously had. And they were so appreciative. They were like, we thought we were going to have to take out like a second mortgage or something, you know, just to afford all this. And you've made it a little bit easier. So it's like, okay, I'm making a difference.
It's not always, I know credit's a factor, right? I
So
don't
it's
know a lot about insurance.
It's
Right?
okay, I do.
Okay.
It's a soft credit check.
Okay.
So it doesn't actually pull your credit, but it will pull, you know, have you made bills on time?
Okay.
You know, but it
so
doesn't.
it's not score driven.
It's not score driven. It's just do you make payments on time? Have you had previous insurance? That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
It's an insurance credit check
right.
to see if you've had previous insurance, if you've paid that insurance timely, and things like that.
So I know we're working on a deal together right now.
Yep.
And that's an FHA deal, and it's not the highest credit score. But okay, so the lady's a first-time home buyer, but I think her mom owned a home last year. Does that help?
They're both. Yeah. Not for home.
No. Okay.
It would help for auto, maybe like, you know, for instance, I just had a client, her by herself, her auto policy was like $4,000. When I added her husband didn't need to be on the policy because he has a commercial policy. But when I added her husband, it went down to like $1,700.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
like insane.
That's the beauty of you knowing what you're doing.
Exactly.
It's also the beauty of you being a broker.
Yes,
you know?
exactly. There's carriers that care about credit. There's carriers that don't. So for instance, for the client that you were talking about, that carrier really doesn't care about credit. They care about claims.
Okay.
And they care about older homes. This home was, I think, 2004, I believe. So it was good. And there was no claims on the home, and the client didn't have any claims as well. And so that's why that carrier was a winner.
Don't you love being a broker?
Oh, yeah. If I had one product,
yeah.
Sorry, this is it. I don't know what to tell you. Or when renewals come out, sorry. No, I'm like, okay, let's go and check. Oh, Progressive. Progressive's going to be your winner this year, you know? And so, yeah, it's definitely, it's an asset that a lot of people don't have that I'm so thankful that we have here at Goosehead.
I totally understand it because I'm a mortgage broker, right?
Yeah, exactly,
And I was when I got out, but when I came back, you know, I was with a retail lender.
Right.
And I felt, you know, stuck,
You
right?
can't.
But this is so nice. I've got 170 different lenders. Some have overlays, you know, that make it tougher. But you got to know where to go, right? So if they have overlays that make it tougher, but you have a great, for me, right? Like if I got somebody with a high credit score and they fit in there, they usually have the best rate.
Yeah.
Right? But so like VA doesn't have a score requirement, right?
Right.
But most everybody requires a 580. And I've got a lender that requires a 620. Those are lender requirements, right? I can get somebody into a VA loan with a 400-something credit score, right? Now, the rate won't be because there's a break, but the break's at 580.
Okay.
Unless, you know, it's the lender that they require 620 across the board on any kind of loan.
Yeah.
But if I have a really strong credit person, I'll take them there because they have the best rate and their service is phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly.
But you've also got to balance that,
you
right?
You have the opportunity to, like, you're an expert in this field and you know, well, I'm going to pair them with this because of X, Y, and Z. You know, every client isn't the same. Every client isn't a perfect client buying $1 million home with a, you know, 800 credit score. You know, everybody isn't that. And so you find and maneuver exactly what's going to fit best for them.
Yes. And time, right? Like, so there's a bank out there that's hard to get deals done through, but they usually have the best rate, period. But, you know, if you've got to close in 30 days or this file's not just exactly perfect, forget it. Don't waste anyone's time because
I've got a carrier like that.
They're not going to close on time. You know, your client's going to be upset. Your realtor's probably going to be
Very
really
mad.
mad or
Yeah.
not want to work with you
Yeah.
anymore. So
I know it.
that's you got to know, right?
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
and when they're
For your
like in my
VA.
case, I'm dealing with 100. I have the opportunity to use 170 different lenders.
Right.
So you got to kind of narrow it down to like
You know who your
for this
your
group,
front line.
these top two
You know who your
to
starting
2
lineup
to 5.
is.
Yeah. And they change, right?
Right.
Some of them, like one of them recently, and they're the largest wholesale lender in the nation, but they recently decided nobody's going to beat our rate. They already have amazing service and they can close deals in like 10 days, but their rates have been, like you could get that rate.
Yeah, and now they're like,
we're not
gonna
no,
lose.
nobody's going to beat our rate. We're tired of losing deals
I
over
love
rate.
that.
So
I love that. That's awesome. It's like what was that thing that I think it was Walmart that had it? If you could go somewhere else and like find a better deal, find a better rate, they would match that rate or whatever.
yeah.
I don't know. I think that was a thing, wasn't it?
I think so.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen a commercial about something like that before, but yeah, that's kind of like, what they're doing. With your VA clients, let me know if they are VA, because sometimes clients don't know what to tell me. So always tell me, because there's huge discounts with insurance for VA loans. So definitely helps.
Did I get that?
Your carrier didn't have one.
Oh, okay.
Did you escrow your insurance?
Yeah.
Your carrier didn't have it.
That's all right.
I wouldn't have missed that one.
Okay.
Every discount's going to be on there. I'm going to check, though. Maybe you'll get a little refund check.
Yeah. So anyway, everybody that I have sent to you has personally called me and thanked me. Whether they be
I make them do that. I say, hey, you're not going to get this if you don't call Greg and say how great
yeah, whatever.
Well,
that's funny.
That means the world. That's what I want to do. I want, you're trusting me with these clients that are so important to you, that are your paycheck. One bad referral can ruin that deal for you.
Yeah.
And so I take that into consideration, and I put do the very best that I can, make sure I'm diligent in everything, giving the same great service that you did, so that they just think back and they're like, man, I'm so glad that Greg sent me to that insurance girl. Hopefully they remember my name, but it's okay if not. And they're like, so glad she took care of all of it. Greg's awesome. Or, a realtor that sends it over. That realtor's awesome.
It definitely helps.
Right? I want to make be an extension of your services, pretty much.
And there's a lot of y'all here. I see a bunch of your coworkers when I go to
I know, he knows all of them.
Networking events and when I'm out and about. And there's a few of y'all that are exceptional, and you're one of them. And whenever I tell them, hey, no, I'm good, I work with Bridget, they're like, oh, she's amazing. We love Bridget,
They have to say that.
But it's funny, there was a realtor that I was working with, and I know that he uses a good friend of yours.
Yes, my best friend, actually.
Okay,
that was so funny. We just that was a girl I went to Cabo with, actually.
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. So, I'm sure they were in good hands.
Yeah.
But I tried to direct the client, who's a mutual client, right? But he's really tight with the realtor, the client was.
Yeah.
He used the realtor because they're friends, right?
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I got an insurance person for you. And he's like, I've
got it. And
he's like, my realtor already took care of that.
Yeah, and she's unbelievable. But she just closed on her house 2 days ago. 24, and she's already bought a house. What am I doing?
She used him?
He was her realtor.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, that says a lot, because obviously she knows a lot of realtors, right?
Right.
So.
And yes, like testimonies like that. I'm not ready to buy one yet, but I'll call you. I'm not ready yet. I need rates just a little bit lower, but
oh, come on.
Oh, they're not that bad. I know, you're right. We just talked about that. I don't even know, really. House just seems like so much responsibility.
It's okay. You can do it.
I know. I'm just throwing so much money away renting. We calculated it.
You won't get that back.
Like $58,000.
It's not just what you're throwing away, but if you'd already bought a home, so don't worry about that.
Well,
but
the
when you buy it,
right now.
yeah, the value will still climb. But if you bought a home
equity.
a year or two ago, it would have been way higher. So
I know.
It's okay.
It's a cyclical. It'll go. Yeah, but definitely.
I can give you some estimates when we're done here, just so you have an idea what a payment looks like, out-of-pocket cost, and all that.
That would be
stuff.
great. Me and my roommate were talking about that because our lease is up in March. I don't want to rent again.
It's probably not going to be near as bad as you think it is.
I know. My girlfriend just did it, and it was like so. She told me what she's paying, and she's paying like what I pay in rent for her mortgage. And you rent it out, and then whenever you want to buy a new house, You just keep that house and turn it into a rental property and mailbox money.
Yeah.
That's
and
how you
then
get
buy
rich.
another
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Fannie and Freddie have a program called Home Plus. I'm sure you have great credit, right? And you have good income. So
What's great credit? I have a 790.
that's great.
Yes.
That's really great. So so you would qualify for this. So a FHA loan, right, is 3.5% down.
Okay.
But Fannie Freddie like Home Plus is 3% down. So
Would that be conventional or would that be
yeah,
FHA?
it's conventional.
Okay, I
So
would
it's
wonder.
less money down
Yeah.
than an FHA loan, and the rate would probably be better, and the mortgage insurance should be a little lower.
Yeah.
So it's not a bad deal, right? So
It's doable.
3% down plus closing costs.
Yeah.
You can get in a home, right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, boyfriend better propose quick then. Just kidding.
is that a personal requirement? Because it's not a loan requirement.
It's personal requirement. Sorry.
I can see, yeah, that,
Catholic, come on.
that
you
you're
know?
not going to buy a home with somebody that you're not
Yeah.
married to. It's probably a good idea, but
Yeah. And then my dad the other day, he was like, "You can buy a house on your own." He's like, and then I think you can get like some sort of, so first time home buyer, and then if we like got married, then we could get like some sort of like first time home buyer again for him.
yeah.
Like if he had,
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever.
You
Show
can
me,
get it
show me the
again.
numbers.
You can get it again later for YouTube. That's another
Yeah.
story. But anyway,
Show me the numbers. Find me a house.
Okay.
I have a lot of requirements.
I'm sure you got your own realtor.
I really. Oh gosh, yeah, I've got a lot.
A swimming pool.
Yeah, I'll just
to
call them
choose
all and be
from.
like, "Go! Whoever finds the perfect house wins." I want a pool. I want a 5,000 square foot house for less than 300,000.
Oh yeah.
I want it in the Heights. That's doable, right?
Sure. I've seen those. I love those. They're like TikToks, right? And you can hear the person saying all the requirements, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like what you're saying. And then I'm not paying more than 200,000.
Yeah.
And she's like,
Person stops.
yes, I found it. Okay. The only problem is that house sold in 1989.
It's ridiculous. Or sorry, that house is in a terrible flood zone, and your flood insurance is going to be $6,000.
Right. Is there anything else you want to talk about for insurance, or anybody who might be in a situation where, anybody that wants to get better coverage and save money,
It doesn't
you should
hurt.
reach out to Bridget.
It doesn't hurt to look. At the end of the day, it doesn't. What is it going to hurt you if you just check it out?
Yeah.
It's not. It really isn't that time consuming. And whenever maybe it doesn't work. Maybe you've got a great deal, and that's one thing I'll always tell my clients. Like when they get other quotes, I'm like, send them to me. If it's beating me, I promise you, I will tell you to go with that. Like I will not screw you over just so I can win a deal.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's not a referable experience.
Sure.
And so, sometimes I don't win. Seldom.
It's
But,
pretty rare.
Yeah, seldom, but sometimes I don't. And I'm like, you're in a really good spot. Or, that's a really great quote. Stick with that for sure. But, if you save $2,000 on your insurance and have better coverage and all these things, it doesn't hurt you to actually just get a quote,
Yeah.
I tell jokes. What else do I do?
You tell jokes.
I do tell jokes. I ask everything about your pets. If you have pets, just think we're going to talk about it for about 10 minutes. Oh, my boyfriend Craig is a new cat dad.
Really?
I found him a cat, and he's keeping it. So
Congrats.
now I have 5 cats.
Wow.
I know, it's so sad. It's a happy life.
But one of them's not living with you, right?
3 of them aren't living with me because my dad stole them, and he won't give them back. 1 is living with me, 1's living with my boyfriend, but they're all mine.
Okay, all right. Don't be the old cat lady.
It sounds like such a nice life. Sounds so nice.
Are you going to learn how to knit, too?
I know how to knit. I know
You
how
already
to knit.
know how?
Yes, I know how to knit. I learned in like 3rd grade.
Well, you don't look old.
Thanks. Great. I'm a quarter of a century now, so I feel old.
Oh,
Got to get a
yeah.
massage every
Okay.
month. I'm like, what is going on?
You got no complaints.
Yeah.
No
Everybody's like,
complaints.
just wait. And I'm like, oh, good. You're making me really excited for the future.
I'm almost double your age, Bridget.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Well, you look great.
Well, thank you.
I was 32.
Paid her to say that.
Required.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do people reach you?
So, yeah, you can reach me on my phone, which is connected to my cell phone. It's my work line, but I answer it all hours of the day. We work 24/7 jobs, don't we?
Yep.
Yep. And so phone is 713-324-9028. And email is my first name, BRIDGETT .Falcone, FALCONE, @goosehead.com. Goosehead, GOOSEHEAD.com. Reach out anytime. I am quick, efficient. I'll make you laugh. I'll save you money. And then we'll be friends forever. I'll be your insurance agent forever, and we'll go from there.
Awesome.
Cool.
Thanks,
well,
Bridget.
thank you so much. This was awesome.
Appreciate you being on the show.
Yes, you did fantastic.
Most beautiful guest I've had so far.
Yes.
Awesome at what she does. All right, everybody.
You're gonna make your other guests mad.
I know. I was worried about saying that, right? But anyway,
I paid him to say that.
Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Texas Real Estate Roadshow, and we'll see you next week.